also, because when a person experiences previous stress around a situation, they're actually, their limbic system gets overactivated, and the limbic system, because it's a lower level of functioning, it's separate from the prefrontal cortex. It's like you turn into an animal or reptile. So even though I might be doing relatively well, if something goes off, it basically fires up my limbic system, which completely overrides the prefrontal cortex. You physically lose the inability to reason and be completely appropriate, because the prefrontal cortex is like the stop, where you're like, someone says like, do I look really fat in this? And your friend, I mean, she's like a size 6, but she used to be a size 2, but she's had 2 children, and she's 35, not 21 anymore. And she's like, do I kind of have some cellulite? Like, but she looks good. You know, I mean, she doesn't look like she did before. You're not like, the prefrontal cortex is the one that says like, you want to be like, well, you know, the first thought is like all those things I just mentioned. That's okay. She's no longer like 21. She doesn't have to be. Prefrontal cortex is like, wait, do I care about my friend? She's acting if I look good in this, not do I look as amazing as I did when I was 22. It is honest and appropriate and loving and kind to lift her spirits and say, honey, you look gorgeous. Have you seen how big your tits are? I mean, like, so what if you have like a little line in your dress from your boxer shorts? You look good. I mean, you still got it. Like, you got it going on. I mean, guys like a little bump in the rump, right? And be like, she was like, hey, yeah. And you're like, hey, yeah, bump in the rump, you know? Are you like that? Do you increase the positive energy? Do you increase the positive vibes? Do you increase your connection and the love? And does she go home feeling good and ready to make her husband happy? Versus the other one, you know, she's just gonna be like, I knew it, I don't have time to work out, you know, I got this degree I gotta keep up, and all these kids, and a house to clean, husband to please, and like, now I'm not even looking good. I mean, is that necessary? She looks great. You don't need to tell her she's not a size 2 anymore. That's the prefrontal cortex right there, being like, this is the positive outcome from this, you know, not the like immediate emotional reaction, which might have to do with, that thought might have to do with all kinds of other experiences. In the same way, when the beginning of my visit with my child, who I have seen the second time in 6 months, she comes in 5 minutes beforehand, less than 5 minutes, like the moment she comes in and says hello to me and says this, and then she goes and gets my child and comes back, so like a minute. She's like, oh, there was a note last time, so this time I'm gonna have to check the food bag to make sure you didn't send a note. I'm like, what? A note? I was like, panic, panic, panic. Alarms are going off in my head. Panic. Okay. And she's like, oh, but don't worry. I mean, that's why another lady comes in. I'm like starting to cry and like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm like, oh my God, get it together, girl, get it. I'm like, there's part of me and they're like, wake up. You know, the conscious part, wake up, come on, wake up, wake up. Don't let the ego take over. He can't do this to you. You didn't send a note. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Come on, mama, get it together. Your limbic system is like, shut up. I got this under control. Run. Fight, run, fight, run, fight, run, fight, run, fight, run, fight. You're like, oh my God, it's almost something, always something. I just can't even do this anymore. You know, about ready to storm out of there because there's not a note. It's so absurd. It's like gaslighting you. I wrote on the top of his ball jar of a perfect little fruit cut with homemade almond milk and buckwheat cereal, Mama loves Marsden. I've been doing that for 2 years. Mama loves Marsden, Mama loves Marsden. Homemade squashed acorn with a touch of maple syrup, a dash of parade walnuts. Dairy-free, gluten-free, organic, soy-free, pesticide-free, GMO-free. I'm exaggerating, but you get it, right? This is my note. And by the way, this one just said, Mama loves Marsden or something along that Mama loves Marsden, Mars is Mama Starlight, you know, like something like that. a note. So I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking when she tells me this, like a handwritten note, like I had to think about it for days to like even come up with the ball jar thing. I was like, oh my God. I'm thinking a handwritten note. A handwritten note? Really? I mean, I'm not even actually sure because I have been unable to get them to send me the evidence. So if I had a lawyer, this would be fine and dandy. But this is what the lawyers do. This is how lawyers in family law make money. Then I'd be paying a lawyer $500 to deal with a note that never existed. Just blow it to the wind. Maybe $1,000 because they have to call me and then have to call his lawyer. And he had to call me back and then have to call his lawyer again and have to call the supervisor. That's what your lawyer fucking does. And you're like, here you go, here you go. I have nothing left, just I'm about to be in the ditch. I stopped engaging with all this stuff. That's why I stopped doing the supervisors. It's like, they want you to go so broke, you live in the ditch, and you can't even buy a lipstick. Much less like pay for yoga class or, God forbid, save for your child's college fund. I mean, all of that savings is gone. Save for your retirement, gone too. Stocks, gone. Houses, gone. Secret motorcycle fund, gone. Stash of guns in the back, sold off. Black market, gone. Just kidding, just kidding. Note. Tell my mom about this. Did you write a note? Oh, you can't send a note. Like, oh my God. That's how bad the gaslighting is for years. Like, even my own fucking mother. Mom, come on, like just, this is why I didn't want to talk to you about it. Let's just have a nice day and go shoe shopping. Let's be normal. I don't want to talk about the legal stuff. Let's just, well, how can they send you a note when they didn't send you a note? How can they do that? Oh, I'm going to go knock on that supervisor's door. I'm going to go march right down there. I mean, she's a mother. I'm a mother. I'm a mother, and I'm going to tell her what's going on, and I want to see that note. I'm like, Mom, listen to yourself. You're going senile. There's no note. Of course, the supervisor's like, you send a note home. Everyone's like talking about this note that never fucking happened. There was never a note. Sorry, my French. It's just really, really absurd. It's like unbelievable. You don't. And if there was actually a note, trust me, I'm pretty sure they would have emailed it to me. But they find ways. They're gonna tell me I have to have a visit in this facility. They find ways to like make it hard on you, make you want to give up. They basically terminate your rights when you're a good, stable, loving mom by doing these really abusive things and saying you've got to follow all these rules or you're going to keep me unsupervised, even though you never did anything to be unsupervised at all in the first place. Biggest mistake number one, I should never agree to it. They separate you from your child for months and then you agree to anything. Then you won't agree to something else. Separate her again, make up another reason. Every single time, they punish you. Next thing is, so this is this visit here, and I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, oh my, like I'm just pissed during the visit. And I get, I'm like, after about 30 minutes, you know, I calm down, I'm able to engage with my son and be happy and cheerful, and I really have like this like shift into that like mommy, like fun child mode. I'm almost like a child at heart. So the visits are fine, you know, there's nothing wrong. Like I feed him, and we do a puzzle, and we talk about dinosaurs, and connect, and you know, I love him, and he comes in and like hugs me and lets me hold him for a long periods of time. You know, I start to get a little mad again when she's like taking the food and she's like, you know, like searching through my bag like for a note, you know. And I thought about that later. I was like, why is she like looking at the bottom? And that's what made me realize later that she was like, it must have been like my Mama Loves Marsden label. Again, next time I'll leave off the almond milk label as well, just in case you call that a note. Wrote the dad. I'm like, what is this note? What are you talking about? You know I didn't send a note. We're only supposed to communicate via our family wizard. You shouldn't break the rules. Do you see how that's gaslighting me? It's a total, complete lie. And that's how every single thing he writes me is. But he looks perfect, like a robot. He's really just a psychopath. And he's told these people stories, so they have, sorry, my dear ones, my getting text messages. next time, so during this visit after the note and, you know, all that stuff, and I'm like, unbelievable, my limbic system's like, fight the bitch, throw her down on the floor. Just like, but this is like an example. I'm not actually having these thoughts, but that's like your neuronal signals that are going on. And these people, they don't realize it's like they have no experience in trauma, in therapy, in social work. It's mind-blowing. It's like they just like hire someone, like one therapist or one company hires people just off the street randomly. They could have any job or career, and then they're like gonna make decisions about you and for your life, and they have no idea of the trauma you've been to. Oh my gosh, okay. The family's all right in me. I feel so loved. That time, so she takes my son out, and